Mathematics teaching media. The importance of teaching media and types of mathematics teaching media are as follows. The importance of teaching media. 1. Teaching media helps students understand the lesson more clearly. 2. Helps in teaching students who are different. For example, some students who are weak learners may use pictures, concrete media. Individualized instruction sets help him achieve learning objectives. 3. Helps strengthen students' interests. 4. Save time on teaching. 5. Helps students learn from concrete things, which leads to abstraction and makes students feel understand firmly and remember for a long time. 6. Use teaching materials to help explain and expand on the message, and summarize the message. 7. To foster a good attitude in students. 8. Encourage students to think creatively. Characteristics of learning media. Things around us are considered all learning media, whether it is a person, an animal, a plant, or an object. Places, events, or activities. Learning media in the mathematics subject group are classified into various categories according to the nature of the media as follows. 1. Materials can be separated as follows. 1.1 Printed teaching materials include textbooks, teacher manuals, teaching materials, teaching projects, journals, pamphlets, reading materials, lessons programs, etc. 1.2 Artificial materials. It is something that teachers make themselves, such as wooden boards, plastic, and other things. Others that teachers create to use in teaching, such as charts, flashcards, wall bags, flip sheets, nail board, cotton board, etc. 1.3 Permanent materials include blackboards, supervision boards, graph boards, real items, replicas of samples, posters, maps, phonographs. 1.4 Consumables such as chalk. 2. This equipment is a teaching media such as an overhead projector, slide sound recorder, radio receiver, television tape. 3. Activities. Organizing various activities is considered a teaching media, such as experiments, demonstrations, exhibitions, plays, projects, field trips, role plays, storytelling, singing, games, puzzles, cartoons. 4. Teaching media from the environment. It is a teaching media that is easy to find because it's all around us, such as branches, leaves, rocks, milk cans. Ideas for using learning media. 1. Must be consistent with the learning objectives of the lesson. The media used must be able to help allow students to learn according to the learning objectives of the lesson. 2. Must be appropriate for the grade level and basic knowledge of students. 3. The size and method of presenting media stories are appropriate to the number of students. It must be taken into account that the media used is media for students to study individually, in small groups, and learn together in large groups, are used for teaching of teachers in the whole class. 4. Focus on involving students in using media. Participation includes helping to stimulate response ideas by answering questions, joint discussion, and expanding the idea base. 5. Teachers must prepare before using media. Practice using media to have knowledge, understanding, and skills in use that medium. 6. The use of media must be used at the appropriate time. There is no need to use too much. When students have understanding after the lesson, the media can be removed from the teaching and learning activities. 7. There must be a summary after using the media. 8. After using the media, there must be evaluation and follow-up to use the results to improve media and media use. Types of mathematics learning media. In categorizing mathematics learning media using the specific characteristics of the media are the criteria for being able to divide mathematics learning media into media and equipment, print media, video media, environmental media, game media, music play activities, and technology media.
1. Media and equipment. Media and equipment are tangible things. Helps to understand the lesson in a concrete way. Materials are things that can decay. It can be wasted. The material may be materials that are easily found locally, such as rocks and seeds. Things to consider in using media and equipment. 1. Should be used appropriately for the lesson. Materials that are appropriate for one lesson may not be appropriate for another. You can, for example, use black and red button beads to teach about adding whole numbers plus integers. Deleting helps enhance understanding.
2. Safety should be considered. Do not use sharp materials and equipment. If required, must have warning and use carefully. 3. You should use materials that are easily available locally. Are leftover materials invented and used as learning media. 4. Learning media should be used sparingly. Use it effectively and economically in lessons that students can learn and understand the content directly. There is no need to use media, or when students have concepts and principles in that matter no longer need to use media. 2. Print media. Print media contains publications that have already been prepared and printed materials produced by teachers such as newspapers, Liwan magazines, journals, and various pamphlets. These printed media, there will be various articles that are general knowledge. Benefits for both education and use as a media. Learn mathematics such as trading information in daily life, product price reduction, accident statistics during each festival, predictions and surveys, opinion on any matter. The information in these publications can be used to help create mathematical activities and used for teaching to complement or expand the knowledge contained in textbooks. Another for printed media that teachers prepare them themselves as printed materials in the form of teaching materials in the form of documents, guidance, practice documents or worksheets, activity lesson, cartoon lessons, programs and documents. Assembled teaching and selecting media types. Each type should be selected accordingly. Appropriate for students in each the grade levels, especially grades 1 to 2, should emphasize concrete media. But if print media are to be used, Emphasis should be placed on media design, beautiful and eye-catching, with illustrations, using correct and appropriate language, clearly easy to understand, not ambiguous. Important printed materials include 1. Guidance document. Guidance documents are often used to introduce new content. There is a section for students to fill in word or message where students can consider the common characteristics of what is presented. Observe and create messages. Predict to lead to conclusions. If students are unable to summarize, teachers can use Q&A until students understand and can summarize. Writing a guidance document does not mean that it brings information, except to add words. Text only must hold the principle that it has been exempted. Students must be able to observe patterns that lead to conclusions. It should be noted that not all guidance documents can be used to present every content. 2. Cartoon lessons. Cartoon lessons have important characteristics similar to comic books. Presenting information. Mathematics using the cartoon is the story. Cartoon lessons may have structure, components, and learning objectives are similar to ready-made lessons. But the cartoon lessons are more interesting because the cartoon image is a good stimulus and may be able to guide knowledge better. What should be considered is that the use of cartoon lessons should be applied in remedial and review teaching outside the classroom to practice skills, processes. Mathematics. 3. Practice documents. Practice documents are media that help learners have the opportunity to review learning content with the aim of practicing using rules, principles, or theorems to increase understanding of the content. Learning and practicing to be accurate and can be used to evaluate learning outcomes. 4. Program lessons or ready-made lessons. Program lessons or ready-made lessons are media publications that are suitable for students to learn on their own. May have the following presentation framework, teaching framework, practice framework, review frame, test frame. 5. Teaching documents. Teaching documents include documents that include contents, examples, exercises, tests, specific documents for students to study and do exercises according to learning objectives to increase knowledge, understanding and develop skills and processes. Mathematical. It should have an interesting format and save time in learning. 6. Activity-based lessons. Activity-based lessons are created to provide opportunities for learn-to-do activities. Learn in various ways such as demonstration activities, experiments, study and exploration. To lead to findings and conclusions. The aim is for students to learn to create predictive text, solve problems, design and experiment. Interested people can study sample activity-based lessons from the textbook. Mathematics and Teacher's Manual for Learning Mathematics, developed by the Institute for the Promotion of Mathematics, Teaching Science and Technology. Things to consider when using printed media. 1. Learning activities using printed media can be used as a classroom activity. Presenting new content. Remedial teaching. Self-study outside the classroom to review and increase your experience. 2. Organizing activities using printed media. Teachers should not allow students to study alone. Organize accompanying activities such as joint discussions on assigned issues, presentation of findings, suggestions, knowledge expansion, and what is indispensable is additional help from teachers. 3. Environment. The surrounding environment here includes objects that exists in nature and exists in real life, including various situations that students have the opportunity to be involved in and see. Navigating the surrounding environment. Become a media. Learn helps students see how math lessons relate to real life. Make math. It is a close subject that reduces the abstractness of the lesson and increases concreteness. Make learning possible more meaningfully. Guidelines for navigating the environment surroundings as learning media such as 1. Used to introduce into the lesson to make students aware that the subjects they learn are useful, can be used in real life. For example, teachers show examples of presenting data with various types of charts from various media such as journals and newspapers. Let students see the benefits of presenting information that actually exists. 2. Used to enhance understanding concrete media from the surrounding environment. Tangible help reduce time to understand the lesson. Learning from concrete things is very important for students. 3. Used to enhance experience by applying knowledge from the lesson to solve problems. Are used to solve doubts. Explain everyday phenomena such as 3.1. Apply knowledge about the equality of triangles and similarities to use. Solve problems with distance and height of things. 3.2. Apply knowledge about the properties of rhombuses. Go explain the work of a stretched door in front of a shop house. 3.3. Apply knowledge about percentages to calculate interest on deposits, loans, and purchases of goods. Or solve doubts such as the store announced a 15% discount on all electrical appliances. One refrigerator was priced at 8,200 baht, reduced to 7,100 baht. Buyers are wondering, is it true that the store has a 15% discount? 3.4. Apply knowledge about ratios to make calculations about mixtures. Wage calculation. Labor. Presenting data with pie charts. 4. Use as a resource for learning mathematics in various ways, both inside and outside the classroom in a manner integration, which students may explore and study on their own and present it in the form of a project study report, or teacher. It can be presented in the form of an article for students to study. Things to consider when using environmental media. Observing things around you, then connect it with mathematics. Or take the math. Explaining will help make mathematics more meaningful. And at the same time, things that are connected to that mathematics it has meaning, has even more value as an important source of learning in mathematics. Teachers must be the ones to point it out. A spark in the concept of connection. Have students help each other find examples from the environment, and teachers help complete, make students' ideas more clear, which even sometimes it will take a lot of time. But if teachers know how to divide their time and the workload for students has been clearly defined, the returns received, it is considered very worthwhile. 4. Media methods. Method media is media that uses methods as the main means of carrying out activities. This must be a method that stimulates students' interest in the lesson and participate in the activity. The media may be in the form of toys, games, or songs. These media help create a learning atmosphere that makes students happy in learning. It is a medium for building skills. In mathematical processes, practice thinking and solving problems. Its use must take into account compliance with the learning objectives of the lesson are important. Important methods include 1. Mathematical toys. It can be seen as a problem situation in the form of equipment, in which players must show how to solve problems, such as the magic wheel. 2. Games may be in the form of playing activities for fun. Or is it a competitive game with rules and there can be winners and losers? The use of games can be used in the introduction to the lesson, in the skill training stage and in the conclusion stage. 3. Songs. Summarizing important ideas may be put into song form, which can be used in the summary step or in introducing the lesson by reviewing the original content. To import new content, music can also be used as a medium. Skill training includes considerations in the use of media and methods. 1. Must be used in accordance with the learning objectives. 2. Focus on having students participate in activities. 3. Clearly show the connection between the content in the media and the lesson. 5. Video media. Video media. At present, it is often packaged on data discs in the form of VCD or DVD. Listen to the sound and see the animation. See various changes in order and continuously in mathematical presentations that require step-by-step visualization of processes and methods can be presented using video media. In addition, information about behavior and thoughts such as study behavior, how to think about solving problems, guidelines for using video media in teaching and learning activities, such as 1. Presentation of content consistent with the lesson which students can learn from video media directly. After that, set issues for students to discuss or answer questions as specified in the activity sheet. 2. Presenting content in a way that reinforces the lesson or expand the content using the knowledge base from the lesson. Demonstrate the application of knowledge and connections to mathematical knowledge, which must have continuous activities students have practiced. 3. Brief presentation of ideas inserted additionally into normal teaching and learning activities in order to the lessons are more complete.